There's no problem. Actually, thank you so much for doing this. It's gonna be really easy. Whenever you're ready, I'm gonna do a little intro presenting the radio show, and I'm gonna to do introduce yourself when you're ready.
I am ready to go.
Hell yeah! First of all, thank you so much. This is the first time we have you on our Quebec radio show, Prescription Punk Rock. I'm gonna to do introduce yourself.
What's happening, listeners? I'm Mark Morton. I play guitar for the band Lamb of God, among other things, but that's probably what I'm most known for.
Hell yeah, you're busy guys. You always been creating, but right now, Lamb of God, you guys have worked your ass on the new records. It's gonna be released really soon. How you guys felt?
Um, Feeling good, very excited for everyone to hear the new material we've been working so hard on. A little bit disappointed that we can't be out on the road supporting it and playing some of these songs live and getting back to the stage. But, there are more important things going on, and I think that it'll just be a matter of time before we're able to start doing that again. And I honestly, I know I don't have any information or anything, but I'm optimistic that we will be seeing some stage time. Hopefully, at some point this year.
That's cool and rad because like you said, you guys have been working creating the new records, but since the COVID, like it's a bummer to not be able to tour. But at least people, a lot are at home right now, and they kind of need that. I mean, they're listening more music than ever in their life. They need something new, and I think that new records is everything that people was waiting. It's a kick-ass records, and I mean I know you always push yourself on every records name I've got every release, but this one felt very special. Maybe it's because of what's happening right now, but I felt it's not different, but you guys try new things, and it's really working well.
Yeah, thanks for saying that. I agree. I agree with you. I think this album it has a very distinct personality. It's a work all its own. I think that lyrically, the songs are very current, very topical in terms of the content, the themes of the songs lyrically. I think musically, it's very energized and excited. It's our first album with Art Cruz playing drums, and he brought a real kind of enthusiastic, fresh energy into the sessions, and I think you can hear that in the tracks. And I think that also, it had been 5 years since we had any new material, so Willie and I had compiled quite a bit of riffs and just kind of song ideas. So we had really a lot of material to work from, a lot of material that was waiting to get cracked into for this album. So we all feel really confident about it.
Is it more easy for you guys working on your new album, creating new songs and new music, or it's always tougher with times, or with the experience, it's more easy for you guys?
I don't understand the question. I'm sorry. Can you ask me again?
Because I know you guys always push yourself doing a records. Is it more easy for you to record a new records now than back in the days when you guys started up, since you guys have more experience?
Oh, I understand. Okay. Is it easier? I think there's some things about it that maybe are I feel a little more comfortable with. The first couple albums, you have only been in the studio maybe a handful of times, and it feels a little more anxiety. There's a little more anxiety involved. There's, back in those days, there was far less of a budget, so it felt, we had less time. So there was a little more pressure time-wise and financially. So in that sense, I think we're freed up a little bit. But I think more than anything, it's just the confidence you get over having, been recording and releasing albums for over 20 years. That you become a little more confident in your own artistry and in your own ability to do what we're doing. And so that settles in, and you can get into a groove and really kind of tune out all that worry and anxiety, and just really focus on being genuine and pure with your creative process.
Because one thing that I really enjoyed through the whole records was we felt that you guys were having fun doing it, and there was a really solid chemistry between you guys. Was it the thing? Was it fun to record the record, or was it really hard?
It was a lot of fun, and I'm glad you bring that up. We are definitely at a point, even just interpersonally in the band, where everyone is at a really calm, comfortable place in terms of our personal relationships, our relationships with each other, um, and just how the inner workings of the band. It was a pretty um, we've been through a lot together as a band, and we find ourselves in a place of confidence and in a place where we're a little settled in terms of all that chaos and all that turmoil that we've been going through for a number of years internally and also with some external factors. So I think this found us in a place of calm and a place of excitement about just really focusing on the creative process without a lot of outside distraction, and I think it paid off.
Yeah, and I think that you guys been through hell over the course of the band. I mean, since the beginning. But I felt that with the records, you kind of put that in a positive way and taking that and change the negative to a positive thing. And I think that you guys, with all the experience, the good thing and the bad shit, it brings a solid machine. And that's what I felt about Lamb of God. You guys are stronger than ever.
Well, it's life. It's a metaphor for life. Really, it's not even a metaphor. It is life. I mean, there's ups and downs, and there's good times and bad times, and we've had all those things and everything in between as a band and as individuals. You're talking about a band that's been together for gosh, 20, 25 years. So a lot of stuff happens in that period of time, and um, so yeah, there's good and there's bad, and this album catches us, the writing process and the recording process, at least internally, in a really good place. The irony there is that the world seems to be really, really tumultuous and full of conflict right now. So there's the flip side.
It's true. It's true. You mentioned it. 25 years. Do you remember the first gig you did with Lamb of God?
Uh, yeah, I mean, we were Burn the Priest at the beginning. We had a different band name. In the very beginning. So back in '94, we were a band called Burn the Priest. It's really essentially the same band. Randy wasn't with us yet. We were an instrumental band, but yeah, the first time we ever played was actually a party in someone's living room, and yeah, I remember it very clearly.
It's crazy 25 years later to being twice nominees in Grammys. And, the fans, you mentioned the fans, the Lamb of God fans are amazing. I mean, I always said when you bring something that is, first of all, good, but when you bring intelligence in your music, you bring people that love that. And I mean, like, when I meet fans, they're intelligent peoples, they're crazy. It's beautiful, man.
Yeah, we do have some great fans, man. We have some really thoughtful, passionate, and really dedicated fans. Um, yeah, man, metal fans by and large are a great group. It's a very lifestyle oriented genre of music, and people look to this music, as a soundtrack to their lives. I mean, you hear that a lot, but these songs and the people's favorite bands really become a part of their lives, and they become part of the things they experience. So it's a pretty intense relationship sometimes, and you'll meet people that have been fans of your band for 10, 15 years, and that's an honor to hold that space in someone's experience, and it's something that I'm grateful to have the opportunity to do.
And when you guys started up, the metal scene was pretty different. The '90s was maybe metal kind of became mainstream for a little while, but after that, it came back to the underground. But when you see that now, it's stronger and there's more fans than ever. It's amazing to see that the movement is always getting bigger, always getting stronger. And maybe it was not the case when it started up. And with the money and everything, a lot of band quit or and went to different direction. But now I think it's the right place, right time for metal around the world.
Yeah, it's interesting. It evolves so much. I mean, I know that I feel pretty confidently that we are, you know, at the height, or certainly so far of our career, we're the biggest the band's ever been. But the ways you measure that change. I mean, people don't buy albums like they did, in the early 2000s. But they stream them now, and the channels of revenue are different. So it just really depends on what your measuring stick is. But in terms of in terms of the size of the shows we play and the amount of people that we're playing in front of, I feel that it's definitely continuing to grow, and I'm excited. I'm excited about that. It's an honor actually to have that be the case. Like we're saying, 20, 25 years into a career.
Yeah, it's a long road, but it pay off at the end, and I think it was the thing with you guys. You never you always climb the ladders step by step. Never tried the fast track or anything. And I think maybe it was rough at some point, but now it's so cool where you guys are and the respawn of people too. And I'm pretty sure people gonna really dig the new records. You really have to buy it physically. I know most of people don't do that, but thanks to all the geeks out there that collectors want the color and everything from vinyl and everything. It's more important than ever with the kind of 3 months we've been through and no show and nothing. Those bands need that more than ever.
Yeah, I mean, we try and make it worthwhile to actually purchase the physical copy of the album. We put a lot of effort and a lot of care and a lot of love into the album art, the packaging, and the different versions you can get, and the picture discs and the different vinyl, as you mentioned, that kind of stuff. So we try and make that something you want to have in your collection, and it's important to us to have integrity and have those things be cool. But honestly, man, every step of the way, we were always astounded that we were having the level of success we have. So I can't say that we ever dreamed or even necessarily had ambition to be as I guess as popular a band as we are now. We never really considered that. We were honestly just playing because we felt like it's what we did. It's what we loved doing. It's what we needed to do. And really, that's why we still do it. So I appreciated every level that we were at. I appreciated every step of the way. And every step of the way, I was always very conscious of the fact that this could go away. I'm not sure why we're doing as well as we are, but we are, and I'm going to enjoy it while I'm here. And I still feel that way now. Your point's well taken about buying physical copies. And like I said, I would love someone to feel like they want that in their collection. But really, we're fine. And I would say to your fans that want to help the music scene is buy T-shirts, man. Go to when you can go to shows again. Go and buy a band's T-shirt, and buy that special edition vinyl of that band, and maybe buy a shirt from the opening act because they probably need it even worse.
Yeah, and that's another thing I love about you guys. You always bring crazy great band on tour and always help the scene, and band that started up to be recognized, and that's the thing. It's not everyone who do that, and you guys have always been accessible with the fans and everything. And I mean, just spending 5 minutes with someone change their life, and they're dedicate the rest of their life to the band. And you guys, you did that, and I think that's part of the success of Lamb of God. Of course, the music, but I mean, like being accessible and help the scene, to be stronger and then to reach out an audience. It's crazy, man. You guys, thank you for that.
Well, thanks for saying that, man. Yeah, I mean, we have tried to be, and you can't always be. Sometimes, you might be having a bad day, or you might have a busy schedule, and there's a lot that goes into this, particularly on the road, where you may not, have 10 minutes to sit and chat with a group of fans because you may be on your way into a van to go somewhere for some press appearance or whatever it is, sound check or what have you. But we have always really considered ourselves, um, when we play a show, we're just a part of the show, just like the audience is. You can have a great band on stage and a terrible audience, and that's a terrible show. You can have a great audience and a shitty band, and that's a terrible show. It's a relationship, right? And so when you're really when a good show is at its best, it's when there's a dynamic, when there's a dialogue between the band and the crowd, and I think we've always kind of stayed aware of that on in the big picture and on the small picture. You know, there's fans that are waiting by the fence after the show. Um, you know, those guys put shoes on my daughter's feet, and those guys pay my mortgage at home. So for me, you know, once I drop my bag off on the bus and step back out there for 10 or 15 minutes and take some pictures and sign some autographs, I'm happy to do that. Like I said, unless there's something going on, you know, sometimes you got the flu or there's something going on at home, you can't always make it. But when you can, I think it's important to, and I feel like we've been pretty consistent about trying to keep that in mind, because we are grateful to be in the position we are.
You guys are still passionate, and we feel that. Guys, the questions, I cannot ask the questions what's going to happen since nobody knows where it's going right now with shows, but we really hope to see you guys back in Quebec. You know, Quebec is your second home. It's a fortress for Lamb of God here.
It is, man. You guys from day one have always been just really supportive and come out in big numbers. And Canada in general, honestly, Quebec is fantastic, and just all of Canada. So supportive for Lamb of God. We have number one album debut first week, number one in Canada. I mean, we can't say that about anywhere else. Our highest chart debut in the U.S. is number two. I'm in my office right now looking at two gold records from Canada. So we appreciate the love. We love you guys back, man, and we really can't wait to get back up there.
Mark, thank you so much for your time. Have a great release. I know it sucks that you cannot see people and see the reaction from now, but it's just delay. And I know you work your ass. And guys, it's a kick-ass records. It's gonna be for a lot of people one of the greatest record this year's. It's gonna be one of my favorite. I'm listening to it nonstop. So man, the result is amazing. People, I repeat myself, go grab the records. Like it, Mark said, buy shirts, and when they came to your town, go see them live. They're crazy. Mark, thank you so much, man.
Hey, thanks for your time, man. Take care.
Take care. Bye bye, Mark.